Alex Seabrook is a new Bristol LDR.
Hi
Do you have
there.
a
Yep.
question?
Yeah, I've got two, if that's okay. So, firstly, I wanted to say your TED talk was very interesting. I thought you made some good points. But I wondered, firstly, if you saw the irony in flying so far for a talk on climate change, and secondly, why you couldn't use Zoom instead.
Okay, so you like the talk. Did you deal with the argument? Yeah. What did you think of the argument I made in it?
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting, but I just wondered about the irony of flying so fast.
Okay.
It's critical.
So let's work through this. Do you know what the fundamental argument I made in the TED talk was?
Sure. Sorry, I thought we were asking you questions rather than the other
Yeah,
way
I know,
around.
but I'm just trying to see if we're on the same ground. The argument I made in the TED talk, the fundamental argument was
Sorry, the question was, do you see the irony in flying so fast?
yeah. So I'm saying, but that depends on what the argument in the talk was. I'm saying, do we know what
elected mayor stepping up, right? To tackle climate change, you have to work together. We need the finance, we need the investment,
and mayors need to. Well, I'll help you out. So the argument was that mayors need to be involved in shaping national and international policy. So that's what that was. So there's no irony because I was there shaping national and international policy. The argument was we can't leave it to national politicians because they're failing. We saw that at COP. So cities are, so let me take you through the argument in case, just if you engage with it. You need to decarbonize the world's cities because that's where most people live. And through cities, you can make more lives more efficient than through any other form of human organization, more quickly. At the moment, the national and international context in which we work is not supporting cities to decarbonize, right? It's not coherent. So what we are doing as cities is not waiting. We need national governments to work with us, but we're not waiting for them. So we are going out and we are working together to raise finance, as we do with the UK Climate Investment Commission, for example. And we're working together to shape national and international policy. So that's it. Have you seen any TED conferences that were run by Zoom?
Not yet, but it might be a good idea.
Okay, well, you probably want to write to TED then about that. But Zoom wasn't on the table. I mean, Bill Gates was there, Al Gore was there talking about climate change. Elon Musk was there, you know. And I think one of the things we could do is talk about how fantastic it, you know, it's great for Bristol as a city of less than 500,000 people. We are being asked to take a platform at TED and shape global thinking, actually, which has actually begun to echo from that. So the argument, so the question is the argument coherent and does it stack up? And if it's coherent and it stacks up, the question is, how do you get the biggest platform for that argument? If the argument stacks up and then we lead to unlocking or contributing to the unlocking of billions, potentially into trillions of pounds to invest in cities, not just in the global north, but in the global south, then it's about how do you maximize the platform for that. I mean, all the best will in the world, getting it on Bristol Live website ain't going to give us that platform, is it?
Sure, well, thanks very much. And on that topic then of getting the investment.
Alex, may I just ask a question, if I may? Just in terms of, sorry, your role as an LDR. So from my understanding, it would be to, you know, report and provide impartial coverage regarding sort of the regular workings of local authorities and public sector bodies. And so I suppose my question is that Marvin was fully funded by TED. To attend this conference, so I couldn't quite understand what the role as an LDR would be in asking those questions.
Well, because it's holding the people who lead local authorities to account, Marvin obviously being the lead of Bristol City Council, and there were obviously questions with the huge amount of carbon emissions from flying so far. So I think it's a legitimate question to ask.
I just, I think it is from probably a journalist from a newspaper, etc. But I can't quite see the link to LDR. But I'll leave it there. And you had a second question?
Yes, if that's okay. So it's on the.
If you need to, I would just say, I would ask, and this is why I'm so pleased that the Big Tent is here on Friday. Please be familiar with the actual substance of the arguments and not just the tweets that are around it when we're asking questions about things. It really helps the city engage with a debate as it actually is, rather than just the heat of the social media. But please go on to your second question.
Sure, thank you. So it's on the City Leap deal, which also looks very interesting and on the topic of what you're saying about getting the investment that we need to decarbonise. But it seems almost too good to be true, this American company coming here and spending £400 million. What are they getting out of the deal themselves, Ameresco? And does the council face any risks of potential unexpected costs further down the line?
Well, there is no deal without risks. So if you read the cabinet paper, then you can, it's all in the cabinet paper. You can get all the details of the deal. And they're a private company. There has to be a return, as it won't happen. And again, if you go back to if you take the TED talk and do some lateral thinking around it as well, we're not going to decarbonise just with public sector money. If you're aware of any huge public sector funding pots that are going to cover the cost of the £206 million across the UK core cities decarbonisation plus London, then please let me know. But we're not aware of it. We have to get private sector money in there. To mobilise private sector money, there has to be a return in there. We can wait for a pure approach, but then we'll be way past 2030 if we do so. So that's what we have to do. And I'm glad that you recognise just how fantastic a deal it is. As I said, go get a cabinet paper, do some reading, have another listen to my TED talk, push my views up.
Sure, thanks very much. That's it from me.
All right.
Thank you, and thank you for everyone joining us today.